This is Coffee and Conversations, a podcast by Sambalatte. This is episode number 6. And today we have an honor and the pleasure to have CocoVinny. And this guy here, last year he was at the Shark Tank. Was such an amazing experience for you. Right now he's being featured at the Prophet with the Marcos Limas at the show at the CNBC. And he has a great sustainable idea how you're going to drink coconut. And today, and he's a local guy, which is the most amazing thing about Las Vegas. And so today we have an interview, and CocoVinny, he's going to talk all about coconut.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Luis. This is
It's
fun.
a pleasure.
I always love this place. I've been coming here for years.
Thank you.
I think since you opened. And it's just such a great brand, and I love what you've done here in Las Vegas. You're really an awesome
We try.
community leader here for what you've accomplished. It's so impressive. So
We're trying.
thank you.
So how the idea about the coconut start?
So yeah, I mean it's they say necessity is the mother of invention.
Right.
And when I left my last company, I moved to the beach in Long Beach. My mom and my grandma lived down there, so I went to connect with them. I kind of just went, abroad and just kind of left Vegas for a while to get a reset and figure out the next stage of my life. And I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I was doing these Ironman races, these triathlons.
Okay.
I did one in Hawaii. It was a swim, bike, run.
It's quite a
Yeah.
preparation
And
to be an Ironman.
Lots of training and lots of hours. And the thing was everybody's drinking coconut water, but it was in a package, and I never liked it. I couldn't stand the taste of this packaged coconut water.
There's some coconut water there. I cannot believe they can call it coconut water.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And it's like it was just no good. So I was in a meeting, and the gentleman that I was meeting with, his name was Lou also, and he basically had a fresh coconut brought to him, and he offered it to me. And I said, well, I don't like coconut water. He said, just try it. And as soon as I tasted the fresh coconut water out of the coconut from the source, it changed my life. And so every day after my workouts, I had a knife and a hammer, and I was cracking open coconuts, drinking them and eating them. And it was just a great post-workout beverage. And I would started drinking them just casually. It was great. And I broke the knife. About 2 weeks of cracking them open, I broke the knife. And the knife belonged to my father. And he was upset because this knife was bought in Germany. And anyways, long story short, I bought him a new set of knives, and I said, I got to figure this out. I said, well, why don't we just take the top of a water bottle and put it into a coconut? And that's where it started. So that's how it all started. Once we started doing that, I had a toolkit that I manufactured, and people could tap their own coconuts. But that wasn't the sustainable business. That wasn't a residual business. So we came up with branding the coconuts and tapping them. And then we got into the resorts, and then the rest is history, how it all started. And so we got on Shark Tank in 2017. And this year we just debuted on the Prophet. And that's been just amazing publicity for us. And so we're building a brand, one coconut at a time.
About coconut, since growing up in Brazil, coconut abundant.
Yeah. How do they say it in Portuguese? Coco?
Coco.
Coco, right.
Coco gelado.
Coco gelado.
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 Yeah, I mean cold. Yeah.
Gelado.
Yeah, gelado.
Gelado.
Yeah. And I remember it was so inexpensive. And I live in the Caribbean for about 4 years in different islands. And I used to drink coconut water out of the coconut almost every day. And it was such a normal for me. The same with eating mango, papaya, some tropical fruit.
Yeah.
And I remember when I came back to U.S. and I realized everybody have coconut on the box.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, that's great. And I tried some. And I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't taste like coconut.
That's just, it's dead. That's just processed.
It doesn't taste anything like that. There's a few brands out there that they do, I would say, a fairly good job. Sure. And almost they bring the reality of the flavor. Because it's always about the flavor. Because when you drink this, it has to be so nice, refreshing. And really, that's how you drink in Brazil.
Yeah.
On a hot day,
Oh my
on the
God.
summertime, and you go out on the stand at the beach and have a nice coconut water on the ice and they crack for you, and you drink. Man, this goes like
best.
the best.
It's amazing.
Like
yeah.
goes like around.
Uh-huh.
It's like a cold beer when you're thirsty.
Totally.
But coconut, I love because now the coconut they have so many. I mean, I didn't know growing up drinking, but now there's so many vitamins, so many nutrients, right?
Yeah.
So many great things, which is so healthy for you.
So good for you.
So we did. So I wanted to talk about how you end up being a Shark Tank.
How I got on the Shark Tank?
Yes.
You know, they have these open auditions all over the country. They're literally an open audition where people stand in line, 800 people in line waiting, and you get 1 minute to pitch. So you do your 1 minute pitch, and then they either like it or don't, and then they call you back and they say, okay, well, now you got to film a big video. Here's this list of questions.
Okay.
Send this video in with energy and answer all these questions. It's a lot of time and energy, because then after that, if they like that video, then they send you a thing of paperwork that's like a mountain of paperwork. And I hate paperwork. And so it took me a long time to fill all this stuff out, answer the questions. And then they just disappeared on me. That was the first audition I did in LA. And I was disappointed because I'm like, man, that was a lot of effort, a lot of work. And they just went dark. So they had another open audition in Las Vegas, and I did it all over again. Stand in line, do the 1 minute pitch, call back, video again, more paperwork. And so it was about a 1.5 year process for me, and probably thousands of hours of time to do all this and just go through that process. But I got on, and it was just really, I guess they liked the product, and I played the ukulele, and I did some energy, and so it's one of those things where we just kept going and kept pushing. And it's a testament to anything in life. You got to keep going no matter what.
Right.
And
So after the Shark Tank, what happened?
So we got on Shark Tank. They didn't do a deal with me.
Okay.
They didn't. They all gave me different reasons why, or excuses or whatever. And our website blew up. We sold like $30,000 worth of these toolkits online within a few weeks. That was really cool. And then we just kept going kept doing Vegas. And so we decided to just grow organically, and we didn't raise money. We just kept going organically, and a couple of really good partners that gave us a try. Rob Bonanno from Fifth Avenue Group gave us a shot. He put us. We didn't really think they were going to sell, but we tried them in some of his pizza places. They started selling, and then we put them in some hamburger places, Johnny Rockets. All of a sudden, we're in all the fast casual restaurants with him, and
Nice.
it's working.
That's
And
really-
so this just a trial and error. We put it in places, it works, or it doesn't, and we just keep trying and just keep going.
So going to go back about your coconut.
Yeah.
How your coconut is harvested, where they come from,
Yeah.
and because I know there is a difference
Yeah.
between coconut from Brazil, from the
Lots of
Caribbean,
difference. Yeah.
from Thailand, from Philippines.
All different.
Yeah, and they complete different flavor profile.
Everything's different. So if you think of like apples, you've got a green apple, you have a Honey Crisp, you have a Fuji. There's so many different apples, right?
Right.
And they all have different softness and crispness and sour and sweet. And same thing with coconuts. So we use a sweeter variety, which is out of the Indonesian, Thailand region.
Okay.
And so that's a sweeter kind of a coconut profile. It's called a Malayan Gold. And actually, it's a pretty cool picture to show you what these...
What make the coconut taste a little sweeter?
It's a lot of things. It's the strain, like the actual genetics. This is the Malayan Gold tree. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but you can get 300 coconuts off of one tree in a year.
Wow.
And so this sucker's full. And they don't even grow as tall. Some of them are these dwarf trees that are literally on the ground. And this is right on the ground.
Okay.
So there's no climbing, there's no falling. It's just interesting. And so we go with the sweeter. We also love Belize. The Belize coconuts are
Caribbean.
really nice. Caribbean. They use a sweet hybrid version, and they there's some good good coconuts out there.
So how they harvest the coconut?
How do they harvest it?
Yes.
Well, it pretty much they just take them down off of the tree, and then they shave them for us, and they deliver them to us, and then we brand them and tap them. So that's pretty much the harvest is pretty simple.
So right now you focus only on the Indonesian and Belize coconut.
Yeah, and those are ample supplies for us. So we like that consistency. The flavor profile is similar. It's good.
How you see the future of the coconut?
Well, there's a big future. We're getting into...
One thing I can tell you, even I went to Brazil 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And a coconut, now at the beach, it is almost $5.
Really?
Yes.
It never used to be like that.
Never.
Wow.
Amazing.
So the market has gone way up.
Because the demand
yeah,
and the supply, they start exporting coconut.
Yeah.
So whatever they have, that's how much
up.
they're telling some people. That's the price.
Wow, that's crazy. Usually be
It
a
used
buck,
to be penny,
60 cents or something, right?
Yeah, it used to be, and
wow.
I would say maybe 10, 15 years, maybe $1.
Yeah, inflation. I mean, they're charging $12 at the strip now. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, and so
we're talking about at the beach, okay?
Yeah,
it's not
amazing.
And I was shocked when I saw the price.
Well, if they're selling those for $5 now, we can probably take the cocoa taps down to Brazil and make some money now. That's probably because usually that's the thing. If the coconuts are too cheap, then people won't want to pay. But now it sounds like they're going to pay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yes.
Tourism works.
Yeah.
So the future of the cocoa taps, and we're focusing on vacation resorts, cruise ships, and theme parks. We really have a niche of tourism and high traffic volume.
Okay.
So I'm speaking on Monday to the Cruise Liners International Association. I'm giving a talk on Monday in Miami about zero waste, and I'm very tapped into the environment and partnering with Mother Nature. That's our whole focus of our organization.
Yeah, this morning we chatted a little bit about sustainability.
Yeah.
And as I explained to you, our coffee producers, especially in Brazil, very, very focused on sustainability.
Great. Yes, that's great.
Not only, but it's such a great awareness. Even I have an interview that I did with the president of the Brazilian Specialty Coffee Association, which was in Portuguese, and I'm doing the subtitles because it's such a great interview because so many great things happening, and this love that the producers have for the motherland, to take care of the land, to not to exploit the land.
Yeah.
Even now, they are testing this. How about or a great sustainability? They're putting this little chip on certain trees, and with the different sensors in an acre, that send to the cloud, and the cloud sends to the computer about the whole condition of the tree, about if the tree needs water, if the tree needs fertilize and everything, because you're going to save millions of dollars in fertilizer and to the land.
You don't want to overwater or underwater.
Exactly.
All of it. That's smart.
And this is going to have so much more control.
Amazing.
And the same with lots of producers are planting more trees in the environment because it is to have 20% of the farm has to be rainforest to help the ecosystem.
Awesome. Yeah, you got to offset all this.
And more producers are realizing that how important it is. So they're adding another 10% of the farm, planting trees, even throughout the coffee farm, because it help create is another thing going to be the shade grown as well.
Oh yeah. So we noticed that diversity in farms where there's intercropping and more than one species is a lot healthier for the soil. So I've been studying regenerative agriculture for the last few years now, studying all of this, from vermicomposting and making soil, and I've been just deep in the whole thing and learning so much. It's just like I never knew I could learn so much, but it's every day. And just like in life, I mean, the monocropping has been really bad for the bees. It collapses bee colonies, and it's just a lot of things with monocropping where you have to put in all these different chemicals and fertilizers just to make it grow because there's no diversity in the soil. But when you have like 10, 15 different species growing together, everything works together better. It doesn't confuse the bees. They get to have variety, and then everything works better together and in a collaborative way. So that's what we're all about, understanding how to let Mother Nature do her thing. She's got billions and billions of years of evolutionary, data,
Right.
and she's letting us use her intellectual property for free, and we're ignoring her in a lot of ways, and that's not good. So that's the really exciting part.
And the thing about it is, when you create ecosystem, give food for the birds, for the animals, for the ants, for the
Everything.
snakes, the
Everything.
insects, everything. And they don't go attack the agriculture, the
Yeah.
coffee tree, because they have their own area, so they can feed from there.
Well, here's what's interesting. They talk about pest control, but in nature, the bugs only eat the plants that are weakest. So the bugs know what the weak ones are and which ones need
They
to
attack.
need to go. But if you have strong soil and a strong tree, that doesn't get attacked.
Okay.
So it's really crazy on how Mother Nature has designed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like natural selection. Only the weak things get eaten.
Mm-hmm.
So if they don't have enough nutrients, they get weak and they get sick, and then that's where the bugs eat. So it's really by design. So if you have your diversity in your soil right,
Mm-hmm.
you won't have a pest problem, because the bugs only eat the bad stuff, which is the way it's designed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so it's really crazy. And so that's we learn a lot in just being around so many smart people and farmers. And
Mm-hmm.
I just love the idea of, giving more than you take. Giving more to the land than you take out of it
Right.
is the way it keeps going. And so, that's
Yeah, because in the past, lots of huge coffee farms. I'll give an example. Hundreds of acres with no rainforest, no trees, and so there is this huge open space, and the only way for the producer to have plenty of the crop, they have to bomb the land with the fertilizer, pesticide.
all the inputs, the chemicals and the fertilizers, and then they're trying to kill all the bugs. And
Yeah. At the end,
It's like
15, 20 years, they have to take everything
wasteland.
out. And
They've
start-
stripped everything out of it.
Yeah, and they have to wait another year, couple years to give a rest to the land.
They
to
basically
recover.
killed the soil, destroyed it with the chemicals.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
exactly.
and the bugs and the bees is what make it thrive.
Mhm.
You need the bugs, you need the healthy bacteria, you need all that stuff.
Mhm.
That's the real long-term stuff. So, yeah.
Another thing very important that all the producers in Brazil are using right now, all the fertilizer, the pesticides, everything is 100% environment friendly.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's good.
Doesn't hurt. And even for organic coffee now, you can use certain type of fertilizer that are
Interesting.
very environment friendly, which is approved by the Organic Association, because in 5 years, and you can change your farm to become organic if you use those products
Great.
approved by them, because it helps the environment.
Mhm.
I mean, and now, in one thing I believe they're discovering in Brazil was something that I learned very interesting about organic. They discovered this varietal of Arabica called Catucaí. There is a varietal in Brazil that are called Araras, which is organic coffee. And not only this tree use less water to grow, they don't grow tall because it helps the machine to go for mechanized farm and produce 35% more
Awesome.
beans.
That's a
than-
nice tree. That's a good tree for a farmer.
Yeah,
That's great.
than a regular tree, because before the organic, nobody wants to do it because
It wasn't producing as
it
much.
wasn't producing much. 40%
And this one comes,
less.
where's this one come from?
Brazil called Arara.
Wow. That's a nice tree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's kind of like the Malaysian dwarf yellows. They produce like 50% more coconuts
Wow.
than the other trees. It's similar. Yeah.
So how long does it take the coconut after the
From-
harvest?
from a- from
door
a
to
s-
door.
From a sprout to you plant the coconut in the ground, sprouted, it's about, on a dwarf, maybe about 4 to 5 years. On a
Okay.
tall variety, you could go 7 to 10 years before it starts producing.
Okay.
But then it'll produce for 70 years.
Wow.
So that's the cool part. Once you have your farm in production, and it's not a one-time season. It harvests 75% of the year. You get coconuts year-round almost, so that's huge.
Right. And after, when you harvest, how long does it take to get here to Las Vegas?
So once, usually about 3 to 4 weeks on the water.
That's not too bad.
From Thailand, but with Belize, that's why we're going a lot. We're going to move
closer, probably 2 weeks.
Yeah, and so even to Miami, where we have a lot of business starting, it's 5 days. Yeah, from tree to the port, it could be 7 days max, and then so that's a fresher coconut.
And it's sustainability as well, because I
Cutting
tell you
the
why. Because
shipping,
those ships leave Miami
Oh my God.
to the island full, because they take food once a week, because I live in the island, and they go back from the island to Miami empty.
Wow.
So now they can go.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of good opportunities that are coming up about all of this. It's amazing. Yeah.
So now talk about how you end up being a prophet.
Oh, the prophet, boy. So it's kind of like all happening in nature, natural selection for us. It's like a blessing. Marcus Lemonis drank one of our coconuts at the cabana at Caesar's Palace, and he put that on TV.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, one morning, I wake up and I'm getting all these pictures sent to me with Marcus Lemonis holding our coconut.
Cool.
I was on TV already, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So we reached out to the producers. We applied, and they called us back, and we interviewed, and they loved the Coco Crazy. So it just works. Yeah.
And I know that right now your show being featured on Tuesdays, right?
It's rerunning now on CNBC. We
How many shows was?
Just one 60-minute episode.
Oh, it was only one. Okay.
Yeah, but they keep rerunning it.
Okay.
And so it's just in the loop. Now it just shows up.
Okay.
And so we filmed for about a month and a half. They flew us all around the country. We did 4 different states and about 50 hours of camera time. It was a long episode. And then, of course, they cut the 50 hours all the way down to 60 minutes. So, lots of stuff got left on the editing floor, and it was interesting. It was really fun.
What the outcome for you now after the show, The Prophet?
Well, now I can't go anywhere without anybody saying, "Hey, you're the coconut guy," So that's kind of cool. In fact, last night I was coming home late from the strip, and people are honking at me, and because I have a Coco Cruiser,
right?
So they recognize me, and that's kind of fun. I mean, I'm kind of got that celebrity thing going, and great for brand. Sales are getting easier. When we walk into a place, they've seen it, or it's just really nice to be known and to be seen.
I know because I've been watching several Prophet show, and after he analyzed and what's his decision towards the end to you.
So we did a deal in the middle of the show where they edited it, and then he said he wanted to wait to close. So now we're just kind of doing our own thing, and if he comes back and he wants to close, cool. If not, we don't have a deal inked yet. So it's kind of up in the air, and I think you never know. They might be bringing us back on or to be continued kind of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So right now, like CocoVinny, how you feature, who's your competition? Maybe he asked you on the show.
So competition for us, we don't feel that we have a lot of competition, to be honest. We don't look at people as competition. So there's a competitive mindset or a collaborative mindset.
Okay.
So a lot of people think of things in a scarcity mindset where they say, oh, but if I sell a coconut, then I can't sell my coffee. But we don't feel that this is a scarcity type of thing. We feel it's expansive. So we like to look at our strategy, and what we do is we call it a blue ocean strategy. So blue ocean strategy.
It's a great book.
to keep the ocean blue. So our blue ocean strategy on zero waste is all about the ocean.
Right.
And the coconut, which people don't realize, is one of the only fruits that relies on the ocean current to spread the seed. And so coconuts will not grow 800 feet above sea level. They need to be by the ocean. And they use the ocean salinity and the humidity. Everything is in this coconut. And so what's neat about it is that you connect with the ocean. There's these negative ions that come off of the ocean.
Right.
And that is in the coconut. So when you hold the coconut, you're getting negative ions that are coming into your body. Just when you hold it, you feel it. Feel like an energy. And what's neat is that when people hold like a cup or something that's not alive, but when you hold the coconut, you can feel that vibration coming from the ocean. That's what that is.
I love the ocean.
And I love the ocean too. And so we like to follow the sunshine and the coconuts, and it's all relying on the ocean. So 60% of our oxygen that we breathe comes from the ocean. People don't realize that. So the more we pollute the ocean and we acidify the ocean, the phytoplankton die. We're going to run out of air if we don't get it together and stop hurting the ocean. The ocean is Mother Nature's womb. That's where everything comes from, a lot of it. So 20% of the oxygen we breathe comes from the rainforest, 60% comes from the ocean.
Wow.
So that's a heavy thing to think about. And so that's why we're so passionate. I don't know if I told you, but we have a new tap coming out. It's a fully ocean safe, ocean biodegradable. These taps here, this one has actually used coffee grounds in it. It smells like coffee.
Yes.
And this one has ground up coconut in this one. You can kind of see the fibers. And so basically we're getting rid of the plastic caps are going away in the first quarter of this year. We have a new mold coming. We're making our own corn and coconut and corn and coffee caps and taps. Is going to be amazing. And so we're even working on some really like cutting edge things to eliminate plastics.
It's very, very environmental.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do harm. We don't want to do harm at all. We want to actually give more than we take. So we want to be able to expand this. We want to help our competitors do this too. We don't want anybody to use plastic if we can help it, because that affects all of us.
Right. Yeah, I remember when we first opened, and our how to call it, we say that we want to be environment friendly. We want to be organic. We want to be healthy driven, because we want to give an opportunity for everybody to come here and experience, you know what I mean, this energy, like the same talking about the coconut and talking about
the coffee.
The coffee
it's from the earth.
From the earth.
Yeah, same.
That we have the relationship with the
farmers,
with the producers. Go over there every year, meet them, see what's happening. You know what I mean? All this makes this connection. That we like to tell the story to people.
Yeah, for sure. And that's how we want to help coconut farmers all over the world. And even with our systems and our inventions, we want them to make more money. There's not a lot of people realize that 85% of all the food we eat comes from 580 million farms in the world. And 60% of those farms are below the poverty line. So we want to help bring the farmers up above the poverty line, improve the socioeconomic status. I pay more for my coconuts on purpose. I want that money to flow higher to the farmer.
Give the farmer a chance to improve the quality of the land.
They'll take better care of the land. They won't cut corners. We'll get a better product. It'll have more nutrients.
Very important.
That's what we got to pay more. We don't want to beat everybody up. There's enough for everyone. You know, there's a saying, old saying, I think on Wall Street says, pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered, is what they say. And we have to be conscious of everybody in the chain, from the farm to the fridge, back to the farm. We have to keep everything in a circular loop. Everybody's got to win. You cannot leave anyone out, because then you're out.
Right.
Because if you have no farmer, guess what? You got no prop. You got no product.
No food.
And that goes back to the ecosystem. And if you take the three letters of ecosystem and economy, ECO, no ecosystem, no economy, period. And
I agree.
That's the real thing. That we all have to connect to that. There's just this real delicate balance to how we connect with all that.
That's why I love when I go to Brazil and talk to the producers, because every year I learn so many great initiatives that everybody's taking to improve the land, for sustainability, for quality, to make so the coffee that you drink today can taste better the next year for the next harvest. And the future harvest is going to taste so much better than ever before. Well, anyway, we did a testing here today.
Yeah.
With that we like it. It is a cold brew. And I told you the 3C rules. We we brew cold, we store cold, and we serve cold.
3 C's.
3 C's.
I'm going to add 2 more C's.
Okay. That means that the water pH maintain the same level the moment it start brewing, all the way that you're gonna drink.
This smells so good, by the
And
way.
not only that, preserve the quality, the flavor, and the integrity of the flavors of the coffee. But this one here, Cedric did just tonight, and simply amazing how can change how people drink coconut and coffee.
Yeah. So tonight we created a cocoa cold brew.
Cocoa cold brew.
So a coconut, fresh from the coconut with the 3C cold brew. So we've got just such a great combination of coffee and coconut together. The cold brew.
It is very clean,
Yeah.
delicious, and you taste on the very back of your tongue the cold brew, but the coconut right up front, and
Yeah.
really the coconut is still dominate in this case here, the flavor. So you can have a caffeine
Yeah.
with some hydration and everything.
Yeah,
and
it's really like a natural hydration and energy drink in one. I mean, the Cocoa Cold Brew I think would be awesome for a pre-workout or even a post-workout. I mean, it's just so nice.
And we thought about, because the next upcoming year we're gonna do again the summer wellness
Yeah.
too, and we're gonna do some yoga, Pilates here at the parking lot at
Cool.
Jones, and the same at Molosky and the Smith Center, and this would be a great addition for people to experience before. I think after can be before and after workout.
Yeah. So, I have a confession. I never drink coffee, and I'm not a real coffee guy. Everybody's into coffee, but when I mix the coconut and the coffee together, I love it. It's like I don't even, and so now it's making me love coffee again. So
Cocoa brew.
Cocoa Cold Brew, yeah, Cocoa Brew. So yeah, well, salud, man. I mean,
Salud.
This is really good.
No, thank you. I think it is delicious. So stay tuned, because we're gonna bring to you very soon.
Do a little cocoa collaboration with the coffee, and it's good stuff. Yeah.
Right, yes. And especially because all the sustainability on your
Yeah.
coconut, and now with the tap,
Yeah.
and probably have one the coconut makes it even taste better.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. And I just got these yesterday. These are, this is brand new innovation. We found out we could blend the coconut material, the used coconuts. We grind it down, put that into the material, and upcycle that. But then I got the wild idea. I said, coffee. We could put coffee in, and because I don't know if you know this, but there's about 10 million tons of used coffee, thrown in the landfill each year. Starbucks has a big problem with this, and
Wow.
when you take coffee grounds and put them in a landfill, it gets piled with things on top, and it becomes anaerobic, which means no oxygen, and it decays in an unhealthy manner, and it creates methane. And methane is 23 times more harmful to our environment than the stuff that comes out of our car. So we want to eliminate any and all landfills possible. And if we can start upcycling some of the wastes and turning it into, turning trash into cash, this is real savings, saving the ecosystem, saving the environment, saving your money. That's about reusing, repairing, recycling. All of that's got to be a part of that circular economic model. So we're discovering every day how to keep things more circular in the loop.
Okay, very good. And I really, I think doing the summer wellness with the coconut cold brew can be a big hit.
We can't lose on that one.
Yeah,
I think people are going to just.
After they
We got to put Sambalatte on the coconut. It'll be branded Sambalatte, and I think shouldn't be hard. We run out of coconuts probably, especially yoga. I mean, yoga, and you're sweating, and it's just good. It's a good hydration.
No, yeah, and we want to promote the wellness.
Yeah.
And what a perfect wellness with the coconut, sustainable, with a great cold brew from
Game
sustainable
on.
coffee.
Game on.
100% sustainability.
It's like peanut butter and jelly, or peanut butter and chocolate. You just can't go wrong with those combinations.
So after all these, so what's your plans?
So, like I said, we're gonna focus on Las Vegas, focus on Miami. We just opened up a round of financing, so we're going to raise $1 million, and we're paying a solid 8% on that, and it also can be converted into equity. So we're raising some growth capital.
Okay.
And then we also have licenses, so we're going to license into the Caribbean. So Coco Taps Jamaica is going to be opening in
cool.
in 2020. I'm going to Jamaica next month. I'm excited. I've never been.
Fun.
I'm
Which
so
part of
excited.
Jamaica?
I think I'm going to Montego Bay.
Okay, fun.
And we're going to figure out where we're putting the facility. And
Okay.
so we've got Grand Turk and just some fun. So
should the one in Puerto Rico too? Is a big island.
So I'm flying to Puerto Rico next week after Miami,
Okay.
after I give my talk, and we're talking about Coco Taps Puerto Rico as well.
Plenty coconuts there.
Yeah. So I mean,
Dominican
I'm
Republic.
just so grateful and blessed because this was a Coco dream 5 years ago, and now it's coming real. And all the hard work and all the, this is not easy to take one fruit and make it something. It's really
One thing very interesting. My wife and I, when you go to place and they're busy, we vibrate and say, "Yeah, that's great. That's great to see they're succeeding."
Yeah.
And sometimes I see people that are jealous of your success.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And no, I'm saying about you. No, I mean about how successful people are. And I feel very excited to see how successful you become because I met you right in the beginning when you start.
I was just schlepping some coconuts around, just trying to figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
And I feel excited to hear that great things are happening.
Working.
Yeah, and working. And I wish you so much
Thank
success.
you so much. Yeah, you
And
too, man.
that you can grow and go take the Caribbean to the Pacific.
We can go. Yeah, I mean, there's no limits to where you can go. As
Mediterranean.
Yeah, well, we're getting calls from Kenya, Africa. We're getting calls from all over.
Wow, that's very exciting.
There's so many things, and I have to start to actually say no for a minute so we can focus.
Yes.
You can't do everything at once.
No, you can't. Yeah.
And that's one of the lessons. In the beginning, I was trying everything, but then I said, okay, we got to just hone it in, distill it down. So I heard it. You have to go deep. You have to set your roots really deep. So I set my roots deep in Vegas, just Vegas. I got all the resorts on the Strip. There was we're setting deep roots there. And then we start to go wide. So first you go down and deep, and then you can go wide because
and spread. Yes.
That's and we're young still. We're still just one coconut at a time. Don't go crazy because you go cocoa crazy with all the different opportunities, and everybody says you should go here, you should go there, let's go here, let's go there. No, let's just relax.
Right. Smart.
We want to keep it manageable and fun because when you're all stressed out and you got 70
it's
things
no more
going,
fun. Yeah.
you're like, I don't want to do. So you got to be in tune, and we're growing really, really organically. We're not
That's
trying
one of
to
those
force
things
it.
I tell my staff the same thing. If you don't come to work, they want to have fun. You know what I mean? Why bother show up?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you're gonna be a miserable day. It's no fun and stress out. Like so many things to do. People want to talk to you. No, I can't talk to you.
Right.
And you get to the point that get out of control, and you're like, man, why I did that to myself?
Yeah, and it's hard. It's a balance between figuring it out and all that. So that's what it's a learning. They say and when these billionaire investors like the sharks and like Marcus and they come in and say, your numbers, or why aren't your numbers like this, or how come you're not doing that? And I give them the analogy. I said, well, when you plant a seed in the ground, you can't come back the next day and just expect, where's my fruit?
Yeah, you can't.
You got to take time, man.
Yes.
And that's why I'm telling even the investors, this is a slow and steady marathon that we're going to win because we know what we're doing and we're just pragmatic about it. We don't want to just start sprinting and then you burn out and you won't ever get to the finish line. So we're all very.
It's very interesting to say that because I was in food and beverage all my life in the hotel business, and one of the things that I never want to do was open a restaurant.
And here you are.
And people would say, why? How come? And I say, there's so much headache. There's so much overhead. The cost.
Yeah.
And you have to be big, a big company. That's why all those large chains are merging because to reduce cost because the margin is so tight to make money. And so I decided coffee shop. is a little less stressful.
It's more niche too. Like you're less SKUs and less space and
Less staff,
not
the
full service. You not
preparation,
have to make
cooking
all those
every
things.
day.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a lot, and I admire people that
Who
want
can
to
pull
have
it
a
off.
restaurant because it is a lot of work. And one thing we learn in food and beverage, and if you don't hit right off the ground, there is no second chance.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're gonna be behind because somebody else is gonna come ahead of you in a few months with a much better idea and with a much better concept. They're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And you have to think about business. I said you always have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
Always have to thinking about doing research and development. How we're gonna grow, how we're gonna develop, how we're gonna make.
Stay
stay
ahead
in
of
business
stay ahead of the game. Yeah.
Because I give an example and I say, I was telling someone the other day, I remember 20 years ago in the hotel business, we come a photographer, do a stock photo for the hotel. That photo was used for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And because not everybody have a camera to do it. And now
everybody's got a camera, right?
Everybody have a camera on the phone.
Yeah.
Everybody can do it.
Good quality cameras too. It's like amazing.
Yes.
So what's interesting is that, by the way, sidebar, we're talking about food. Your food here is amazing. And guys, and they have great coffee, but you got to come here. I had an egg sandwich tonight and a chicken salad. Oh my gosh, the flavors are great. I mean, I'd say that you have it down. I don't know. Do you outsource that or somebody do
No,
it?
no, we cook here.
You make that?
No, we make that here. Yeah, we buy.
It's good.
We come in 2 or 3 times a week, fresh produce, and we
I
make.
love it.
And we try to. And my idea is I tell my staff, either you do right or just don't do it.
Yeah.
Either you do first class or don't do
That
it. Don't
egg-
bother do it.
I'm coming back here for an egg sandwich like every day or every week now. That thing is
Egg salad, right?
no, the egg sandwich, the
Oh, the egg
sausage
sandwich.
egg.
Yeah.
It's like a breakfast sandwich.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. Yes,
I love eating breakfast sandwiches all hours of the day. I could eat a breakfast sandwich for dinner.
No, that one we don't make it here. No, sorry.
No,
No.
Okay, but it's great.
Yeah, there's a
And
French chef does for
It's
us.
amazing.
And the sausage, they taste so good
Yes.
because he makes from scratch.
It's amazing. I could taste it. and also the salads, everything. You guys come to Sambalatte. Seriously, that is an unbiased testimonial.
No,
They have
thank you.
amazing coffee. I just had some cocoa cold brew, and the food is amazing too.
We take a great pride in our coffee, and I tell
Hey, your coffee is
every day,
excelente.
the coffee that you drink today has to taste better than one you had yesterday.
Yeah.
And the one you're gonna drink tomorrow have
Gotta
to
be
taste
better.
better than you drank today.
You always
It's
be
always
improving.
raise the bar.
Always
It
improving.
is endless. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
That's how we want to do.
That's great.
But we really want to thank you your time to come here.
No, thank you so much,
and
Luis.
we have been exchanging messages for a while now about.
Yeah, we've been trying to hook
coming
up for a couple of years now. We've been, we see each other out in the field, and I run into you different places. It's great
Right.
to just, and I love all your success, and I tell
thank
everybody
you.
about your brand, and like I said, it's a community. We're in the community, and we're all here to work together and collaborate, so that we can all prosper. There's plenty.
Right.
The thing is that it's a mindset between everybody's trying to kill everybody, but no, you can collaborate and work together. Like, I'll give you an example. One horse can pull 8,000 pounds, but 2 horses, you would think, okay, could pull 16,000, right? 2 horses will pull 24,000 pounds because they collaborate in the synergy.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a testament to we can all work together and we can all create more abundance for each other if we work together and with Mother Nature.
Right.
We have to respect our creator and our source and always stay tapped in to that source.
No, we love that because we are connected to some great producers in Brazil that really love the land and has such a great love that we want to continue this communication, bring to the public, to our consumer, to our guests. Look, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to own a coffee shop. That's exactly why we start the idea about doing the podcast, because one time talking to one of our guests who's a Hollywood movie producer, he was in our first episode. He helps to set up and everything. And I was talking to him and he said, man, that's a great idea. You got to do it. You have so many great people that come to Sambalatte, and you need to start interviewing those people.
Yeah, engage with the actual
Engage
community.
in the
and
community,
that's
yes.
a beautiful thing.
So you can talk about more and give it a better exposure
Yeah.
for your guests, for you, and it is a win, just like the 2 horse. 1 horse, 8,000 pounds, 2 horse, 24,000 pounds. How many 3 horse? 50,000?
Yeah, it's exponential. It really is. Yeah. It's amazing.
So, I mean, keeps growing, you know, and the energy that we create.
And when the whole community comes together on something, even in emergencies or bad situations, when the community comes together, things really happen and things, you know, so that's the power of the synergy.
And
Energy.
one thing about us, and about talking about the community, I give you an example. Last year, this year, sorry, it was still 2019.
Almost up, yeah.
Almost over. We have participated in about 15 different events.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Just promoting and serving coffee. It is our pleasure to do that because we want to be part of the community. We want to show our love that we love our community, that we want to take care of the people.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I really appreciate, again,
Thank you so
your
much for
time
having me.
for coming over
Yeah.
here and take some time off at
Anytime.
night.
Yeah, no, anytime.
Yeah.
And then stay tuned when the sunshine starts, you know, in the spring, I think we're gonna have some fun
Oh, you know,
things.
yeah, we're gonna definitely gonna do
And
it.
then
Yes.
we might even try and get coconuts going here and see if we can get the
No,
coconuts
shoot the start.
rolling.
Yeah, yeah.
Just try it
Yeah,
and see if it
very-
works.
Very soon here.
Let the community speak, you
Yeah,
know?
okay.
That's what I say. Just try it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's okay, you know?
Especially for the summer, wellness would be a great,
yeah.
great drink. Anyway, so thanks for watching Coffee and Conversations by Sambalatte. This was episode number 6, and we have the pleasure and honor to have CocoVinny.
Some people call me Vinny Coco. Some people call me CocoVinny. They're interchangeable. It could be Vinny Coco, CocoVinny, so
Yeah.
it works out.
and to be in our podcast today. And thanks for watching. And stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for more podcasts. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to find us, we're at Coco Taps for You
Oh yes.
on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and also you can follow me around CocoVinny. It's CocoVinny at all. of
And
us.
one thing, you're very active as well on social media. And
I try, you know, it's a
That's
lot
great.
of just gotta hit record and just go, and that's all they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you very much. Thanks
you,
for
guys.
watching, and we'll see you for the next episode.
Thanks, Luis. Appreciate
No,
it. brother.
thank you.
Okay. Obrigado.
De nada.